Hey everybody, Milton Davis here. It's December 1st and just wanted to come on real quick and give you a quick update on what's going on. The first thing I'd like to talk about is our Changa in the J Obelisk number 2 Kickstarter. We're moving right along. Today we had two very generous donations that actually took us up to being 68% funded, and that's great. Thank you to everyone who has pledged so far. Thank you in advance to those of you who are going to pledge. And just wanted to remind you that this is not necessarily a Kickstarter, it's a quick starter. We're only doing this for 2 weeks, and we're already up to like 9 days remaining. So if you're thinking about donating, you want to do it as soon as possible. That way we can meet our goal and you won't miss the Kickstarter. We've got your standard pledge. If you pledge at $5, you get a digital copy of the book of book two. If you pledge at $10, you get a physical copy of book two. And we've got a lot of great combinations. We've got combinations with our book with some of the best indie comic books out there right now. We've actually got a level where you can get a Changa Safari hoodie, which is really cool. And we got some other ones going on too. I actually have a new level that we're going to add tomorrow. I'll just give you a hint about it. It has, I call it the Changa bundle, and which is going to be the comic books and a special edition that we'll talk about tomorrow. But again, I'm going to put the link to the Kickstarter here so you guys can check it out. Um, like I said, we've only got 9 days remaining, so don't hesitate. This is the time to do it. Give me just a minute. I'll plop this on here. And the link is now in the comments. Other thing I want to talk about today, we got some new inventory in today. Two books that I've been anxiously waiting on. And the first one I want to talk to you about is right here. The Alchemists of Kush by Minister Faust. Minister Faust was one of the first black science fiction authors that I came across when I was reading science fiction back in the day. The first one was Octavia Butler. Well, actually, the first one was Samuel Delany, but the second one was Octavia Butler. And then I came across Minister Faust's work. And out of all of his books that I've read, The Alchemist of Kush was my favorite. And I really liked the book. And years later, I got a chance to actually meet Minister Faust when he was here in Atlanta, speaking at Georgia Tech. And we hit it off right off the bat. I mean, very cool brother. We on the same wavelength as far as about creativity and how we approach it. And we've been talking since then. So one day we were having a conversation, and I was like, "Hey, Minister Faust," I don't remember his real name. I said, "Hey, I really would like to publish one of your books." And he said, "You know what? I've been waiting for you to ask me that." And so we talked about it, and then he said, "Well, hey, what about The Alchemist of Kush?" And that just blew my mind because was one of my favorite books by him. So the opportunity to be able to publish an author who I admire and my favorite book by that author is something that nobody could pass up, and we didn't. So I'm happy to say that the book is now available through MV Media. Again, The Alchemist of Kush. I'm going to read you his description of the book to give you an idea. It says, "What if the power to transform yourself were the power to transform the world? Two Sudanese lost boys, both fathers murdered during civil war, both mothers forced into exile through lands where the only law was violence. To survive, they became ruthless loners and child soldiers before finding mystic mentors who transformed them to achieve their destinies. Separated by 7,000 years and connected by immortal truth. One known to the streets as the Supreme Raptor, the other known to the Greeks as Horus, son of Osiris. Both born in fire, both baptized with blood, both brutalized by the wicked, both sworn to transform the world and themselves by the power of alchemy." I mean, that description alone just kind of brings up all kinds of interesting questions and insights. So if you've never read anything by Minister Faust, this is a great book to start. If you have read books by him and you haven't read this book, then this is a book that you want to pick up. We have the book available in paperback. It's also available in ebook as well, so check it out. The other book that I received today, and I'm seeing if it's stacked over here, and I don't see it. Here it is. And the other book I received today is actually a paperback version of a book that I've had out on as a ebook for a while. It is Playing the Odds. Playing the Odds is, I would say, my first cyberpunk novel. A few months ago we let out the Cyberpunk anthology, and this is actually a cyberpunk novella. And I'll read you the description on the back of this one as well. It says, for nearly 20 years, corporate security cyborg Carlos Mejia has lived a life of danger and privilege in the United Cities. But one day he receives a life-changing contact. The corporation that employs him and funded his tech has gone bankrupt, and now he is an asset to be collected and liquidated. Desperate to stay alive, Carlos seeks the help of street hacker Michelle Carter to dump his tech and become normal. What they discover is a conspiracy that threatens to set the United Cities on a destructive path unless they stop it. This is a fun action adventure story, cyberpunk, or some of you people want to call it cyberpunk story. I had a really fun, a good time writing it. I wrote the original story and read it actually at Dragon Con a few years ago, and the response I got was really great. So that's why I decided to just get into it and complete the entire book. This book actually comes from my Utopia world that I've created. Utopia is a cyberpunk slash solar funk storyline that talks about the future basically, and talks about it from a standpoint of there being a major upheaval and the world being divided instead of into countries into cities. And the unique thing about this world is that people have decided that in order to repair the earth, they need to separate themselves for it. So all people have been moved into living into cities, and all the area between these cities are basically left to be natural and grow, and hopefully that the world can repair itself. And so the stories take place in these different cities, and the cities have different names. Like Atlanta is not Atlanta, it's ATL. Denver is not Denver, it's Mile High. And within all this, you have a new society emerging and being created. My story Carnival, which is in Hadithi, the Hadithi book that I did with Eugene Bacon, comes from that particular history. I have another story that I wrote that may or may not end up showing up in a upcoming anthology that is also written in that history. And my book Destiny, that I'll be letting out next year, is also in that utopia cyberpunk world. So actually connecting all these stories together and having a good time and imagining this world and trying to imagine what a utopia would be. Of course, it's not going to be perfect, but it's interesting trying to imagine how people are trying to work toward this perfection. So I just got these in. I got a good inventory of them. If you want to order them today, you can. Matter of fact, I'm going to put a link up to my website because not only is the Alchemists of Kush on the front page, on my home page, so is this book as well. Let me put up here. So that's about it. That's what's going on today. Just wanted to give you, again, let you guys know what's going on. Check out my homepage. We're having a sale on what I call all my new releases, and these were all the books that were released this year. Some of them are brand new. Some of them are paperbacks of books that were only in ebook at the time, and included in that is Playing the Odds, as well as The Alchemist of Kush. And don't forget about the Kickstarter. Go check it out. Make a pledge. We're looking forward to giving you guys a second issue of the Changa and the Jade Obelisk, and I think you'll enjoy it. So that's it. Y'all take care. Peace.